What's up, guys? Welcome to my basic deck guide. This is nethervvoid. I'm going to show you how to build a basic deck pretty much with any character. This works with any character. As you can see, I've created lots of decks so far, and a lot of these guys are level 10. That's kind of what you want to do to unlock all the basic cards. It's not going to be about any classes specifically. It's just going to be a basic deck strategy that, in my experience, works with pretty much any character. So I don't have a rogue character yet, so I'm going to make one of those. Let's go back and do new deck here. So we'll go to collection. We're going to make a custom deck, new deck. We're going to make a rogue deck, because I do not have one yet, and I don't have any unlocks with rogue. I've never even played a rogue. But again, this works for any of these classes here. Let's call it rogue deck. It doesn't really matter. And then we're going to skip past the rogue stuff, because I'm going to show you just out of the neutral basic stuff how to build this. So kind of the strategy around this is to overwhelm your opponent with creatures. It's very simple to do because there are a lot of creatures that spawn extra creatures, like this guy right here. Put two of those guys. We're going to get just about all the creatures. Not this one, because I don't feel like this is a very good creature that spawns extra creatures. There's plenty of them in here. Here's one. And I think there's one more, and it might be the other guy. So hold on. Nope, there's only one more. So we will put that extra. I don't usually use this guy because there's actually, you know, my deck gets pretty full, but for this example, I'll show you this. We also, next we're going to put in, since we have all these extra creatures out there, we're going to put in minions that give other minions plus attack or life or whatever. So we're going to put Raid Leader. This guy's good with anything pretty much, but not just +1 to one guy. We want to put guys in there that give plus to all of your minions. So there's only a couple in the basic deck. And here's the other one right here. Okay, so we've got the basic setup. These three will overwhelm your opponent with creatures, and these two will buff up all those extra creatures, basically. This guy right here and the Raid Leader. So we can also look at this guy. If you need some extra guys in your deck, this will gain 1/1 for every minion you have out there. So obviously, if you've got 4 or 5 guys out there, this guy's going to get gigantic. So we'll put this in there. I don't think I'm going to win with this deck because now it's getting too full of this kind of stuff. Because I like to put stuff like the next piece I'm going to put in. There are 2 really great taunt cards I like to put in. Later in the game, I like to control who my opponent can attack. Because I might have a Raid Leader out or a Stormwind Champion, and I want to make sure those guys don't die, so I put a lot of taunt cards in there. So we'll put, these guys are really easy to get out, especially later in the game. You should still have extra mana left over. Another guy I like to put in who's really easy. He's a 2/1 for 1 and restores 2 health. This guy's a great guy to put in. I put him in all my decks. And this guy right here, 2 mana for a 3/2, really get some fast damage on your opponent. So as you can see, we've got 10 slots left. Usually those will go to class cards. I like to put this character in as well, this minion, because I can draw an extra card with it. Again, I've opened some packs, so this is not a card that's in the basic deck, so we won't talk about that card. But they are in here, just a few of them. There's also another one where you can draw an extra card. These are really good if your class does not have draw ability. It's nice to have a couple cards that will get you extra draw later in the game, mainly later in the game anyway, when you're getting 1 card per turn, but you have lots of mana and you have leftover mana at the end of every turn. So that looks pretty good. Let's go back to the rogue specific cards, and then I'll fill it in with minions if I need to. As you can see, yes, again, I have a couple of expert cards. We will not consider those. So we're going to do, let's see, this is pretty good. Destroy an enemy minion, that's always good, especially later in the game when they bring out really huge dudes. This is great to slow your opponent down, so we'll add a couple of those. Deal 2 damage to an undamaged minion. That can be very good too, but we're not going to worry about that. That's kind of early game stuff. So we don't have a lot of stuff in here, and that's fine. Give your weapon a +2 attack. This can be good because the rogue has that special weapon ability. I don't know, let's just put it in. There we go. Now I like to look at my overall deck build here. I don't want to have too many things like in the 5 there. There's a lot of high casting cost spells. I like to have a bunch of stuff front loaded, like 0, 1, 2, or 3, just because in the early game you don't want to be sitting there not casting anything. You'll get 2 behind your opponent and then you'll lose the game. So let's look at these 5s. There's a lot of them. Well, these are pretty good. Again, this guy sometimes doesn't fit. I feel like this is a decent deck overall. It is pretty front-loaded. But later in the game, it's got a few options like the Stormwind Champion. Let me look at the tail end of this. We have 2 slots left. I'm going to put another taunt card in. Probably a... Well, it is pretty thick on the 5 and up. Let's try to go with something 4 casting cost. So maybe we should just put... You know what we should put in there? The early draw card. Let's put this in there. We've got to get some draw. We have no draw other than that card right there. Alright, so there we go. We've built the deck. Let's get into a game and see what happens. I'll be right back. So here I am just in a practice game against the mage. I like to test my decks against the mage because she has such great utility and especially can handle minions really well. I usually throw back any card that's 4 or greater, and it looks like none of them are, so sweet. That's awesome. I did get one of my cards that will summon an extra character, extra minion for me. But I'm going to lead off with something pretty strong. Also got a raid leader, that's nice. What's this? Okay. Deal 2 damage to an undamaged minion, that'll be nice. So, oh, no, okay, so I'm going to throw out this, get that creature out there quick. Remember, we're trying to overwhelm the other player with creatures. That's the only thing we can really control with a totally newbie deck. So, this works. There we go. What I'm going to try to do is keep a creature advantage, or a minion advantage, and then just keep attacking. So, and then I can also do, let's do some of this. Here we go.
Here we go.
There. So I've actually used this in PvP quite a bit, and it's very, very effective if you can get the creatures out there quickly. So I think we're going to do one of these now. So now that... Now we've got an advantage, a double creature advantage on her. Okay, so here I'm going to use my sap, see if we can get any more out, and then a raid leader. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, so I'm going to get the raid leader out there. Oh, I don't. Interesting. Okay. So I'm going to use... Let's see, let's just do this then. There we go. And get that back. Alright, let's keep doing this. So I should be able to bring the raid leader out on my next move here. Okay. So, wow, no, I should just do this. Gotta keep that advantage, right? Plus I can attack with that guy out there. There we go. So see, I'm just keeping the pressure on her with the extra creatures. I think raid leader should be coming out soon here. Man, this keeps bringing that out. One thing I do like about the practice thing, though, is that... So there's another extra summon right there. Is that it's really nice to... I can't even remember what I was saying with that, so I might as well just do that. It's not... Well, it's nice to keep all those extra creatures out. Now, I don't attack generally if I can't kill the guy, because then it forces her to use her attack against a creature. So there's a draw advantage as well. The mage has tons of utility. The mage is a great character. Personally, I don't really care too much about the mage, just because I'm going to do double... Okay, so I'm going to control the battle a little bit with this guy. So I'll force her to attack that guy, but I'll also do this. And then I'll just take this guy out. There we go. Oops, I could have attacked with that. That's fine. So see, that forced her to attack this guy. Now, the fireball, she can attack anybody. And, wow, I would not have done that, but good. So she's behind in creature count here. And I've still got a couple tricks up my sleeve. I've got 2 guys that can help me out here. So what I'm going to do is bring out, let's see, I can bring out the raid leader. Now both those guys are getting pumped. I'll do my attack. And then I'll bring this guy out. He's going to get +3/+3. Nice. So I'll probably just, let's do that. Let's get rid of him. Let's get a super insane creature advantage. And that's going to hurt a little bit, but not too bad. I thought this guy's... That's interesting. I thought that stuck. Apparently not. Alright, so, again, here we're going to do it again. See how this just is crazy? Now, look at that. Look at all those bonuses. So, well, let's just kill her. So, there you go. You've seen how powerful this can be. The only time it's really going to you're going to have a problem with it is if you get a bad draw or something like that. But generally, it's not too bad. Again, if you throw back 4 or higher casting cost cards in the beginning, you should have a decent draw. Should have a pretty good time. So let me know what you think about this guide. Let me know how it's working for you. I really want to hear your feedback on it, and that's my basic deck guide. I should have some other guides coming out pretty soon on this game. You know, different character guides and things as soon as I play them a bit more. But this is pretty much how I set up all my new characters, and it works really well. So let me know what you think. Later, dudes.